All right, so this is, there's loud noise in the background, but it is November 12th, and we've been on the road for over a month, so we thought we would do a little update and share kind of our experience so far and what we've learned.
Yeah.
So the first thing that we're going to talk about is what has been our biggest challenge so far. I'll let you go first.
Hudson, without a doubt.
That's not what popped in my head, but that is true. Having a dog, living out of your car, trying to go to national parks, it really is difficult.
What pops in your head?
What popped in my head was the weather that we experienced in the beginning of the trip, and just like outrunning rain and snow all of the time. Like that, I think, was quite a challenge.
Yeah, that has been a challenge. Also, not having service everywhere sort of sucks.
Oh yeah, like we have had service barely at all. We have it like sporadically throughout the day.
Yeah, this campsite we actually have great service just because we're staying right next to a cell tower.
So that was the first thing. The biggest challenge, either Hudson or the weather. We can't really control either of those.
Yeah.
The best and worst camp spots that we've stayed at. So clearly we have stayed like at rest stops. I don't really consider those camp spots.
I do, but they're definitely not the worst because they got bathrooms and they're generally pretty nice.
But so we've stayed at some of those. I'd say on my list, those are on the lower end of like the spaces that we stayed. But the worst one, I think, is when we were in Colorado and we just stayed in like a dirt patch on the side of the road.
Yeah, I know what one you're talking about. It's next to a little park.
Yeah, it was across the street from a park. It was on like a noisy road.
And that one we got.
It was basically a trailhead. Like,
Yeah.
We just slept there for a night. It wasn't bad. It just had nothing really.
Yeah,
Like
we stayed there only because we kept running into closed roads. We were trying to get to different campsites, but it was gonna take hours to reroute.
Okay, sorry. Going back to the biggest challenge, closed roads. I changed my answer. Closed roads have been an absolute nightmare to us.
I think that can fall under weather though.
Yeah. In Wyoming, in Colorado, in Montana, like we ran into closed roads every day.
Yeah.
So that sucked. Rerouting, hours of extra driving.
Woo. All right, the best camp spot is probably the Tetons.
I agree. The Tetons was amazing. We drove up and we're on like a cliff, and there was a great view of the Tetons when it wasn't clouded over because of the weather.
Yeah, that was definitely our best one.
It was the coolest one.
I really liked when we stayed at Goblin Valley. I really liked that campsite. It definitely wasn't the best, but it was still awesome.
It was a cool spot. We've actually had a lot of cool spots. When Jackie and Dad were on the trip, we stayed at the north rim of Black Canyon of the Gunnison, and that was really cool. The canyon was like, I don't know, 300 yards behind us, if that.
Most of our camp spots have been pretty good.
Even this spot that we're at right now, we're in the Salt Flats.
This spot is awesome, except it's so dusty. The material here is just so soft, and you bring it everywhere with you.
Yeah, this dirt, that's an issue, but the sunsets from this spot, amazing. The service here, amazing. Our favorite thing that we've done so far on the trip. Honestly, I think that's hard to choose. It's a hard thing to choose, but I think being in Moab was probably my favorite thing that we've done so far. Just getting to stay in one area for like a week and go hiking almost every day. Corona Arch there, which we did like the second day we were there, the first whole day we were there.
Yeah.
That and the Fisher Towers have been two of my favorite hikes that we've done.
I gotta back up a little bit. I'm getting hot.
Okay, those have been two of my favorite hikes that we've done. So I'd say one of those is probably my favorite things. I would go with the Fisher Towers, honestly. The coolest hike we've done, I think, has been the Fisher Towers, and that's been my favorite thing so far.
Yeah, favorite thing? My favorite day was the first day we got to Yellowstone, because
in Montana.
We had been doing we'd just been driving. We hadn't been doing too much. It was the first day that felt like we were actually on an adventure doing something. We pulled into camp. We went, saw the Yellowstone River right next to camp, which was awesome. made breakfast in the wind, which sort of sucked, but we got to meet our neighbor who was pretty awesome and told us about a cool spot to go to.
Yeah, he was some old guy traveling with like just his dog. He was really awesome.
Yeah, we found this cool hike that was like 12 miles up a dirt road, which just driving up the dirt road was fun. We all rode in the same car, which was fun. Like everything about that day was pretty good, like except the wind at our campsite. That was the only spot that had wind was at the camp.
Yeah.
And then the blizzard came in at night, but I count that as the next day.
Yuck. That was a good day. But I think pretty much all of the days in Moab were good. We got to hike
I really liked Moab.
I'm
like,
getting toasty too. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Least favorite day.
I
I know what my least favorite day was.
What was your least favorite?
My least favorite day is when we left the Tetons and we're stuck in Wyoming driving for like 8 hours.
Yeah.
We drove through a blizzard. We ran into closed roads everywhere, all through Wyoming. I didn't think we were going to get out of Wyoming.
Yeah, that's probably my least favorite day too. Like, it wasn't that bad.
It was just like we could not escape Wyoming. I felt trapped, and I was like, why did we leave the Tetons? At least it was cool looking there.
Yeah, that probably was my least favorite day as well.
Regrets. So, like, what have you regretted doing to your car or bringing with you?
I regret bringing so many clothes.
Same. We brought way too many clothes.
Yeah.
I think that I, like, overpacked. All this stuff in my roof rack, basically, like, I don't use. I've thrown everything up there that I don't use. There's cords. I shouldn't have brought, like, my Nintendo Switch. I have not used that, like, at all.
I haven't either, but I don't regret bringing it. I feel like I'm going to play it sometime.
I don't know. I regret...
That's small enough I don't regret having it.
Yeah. I don't know. My car, what I'm happy that I did to my car is switch out the mattress. Like, I had a 6-inch mattress in there originally, and I switched it down to 3-inch memory foam. Way more headspace. It might not be quite as comfortable, but the headspace and room in there, I am super happy I did that. I don't regret that.
Oh, you know what I regret is breaking my solar panel.
Oh. John broke his solar panel the first time he got it out.
That did happen. That happened on my favorite day too. It was because it was too windy at the campsite. I hung it from my truck, walked around the truck, and then I see it just flying.
And yeah, it's still your favorite day.
Yeah. I mean, that part kind of takes it down a notch.
What has happened, or what like didn't you expect to happen on this trip? I know what you should say. You didn't expect to be bored so much.
See, I did expect to be bored. I knew I was going to be bored, but it still felt unexpected.
We have so much time, and it's weird. It is now starting to feel like real life, but up until this point, it kind of just feels like we're living on a long vacation, which is not what this is. Like, it's not a vacation. We can't just be spending crazy amounts of money.
Yeah, well, so our vacations have always been similar to this, traveling to national parks, and like our first, honestly, 2 weeks until we met up with our sister and dad, we were just go, like non-stop, just moving, going places, which made it feel like vacation. Like we weren't stopping and taking a break anywhere until we got to Moab.
Yeah, Moab is the first place that we stayed at for more than 3 consecutive days.
Yeah, and when we stayed there, like, it was like, oh, like, this is weird. Like, I sat at camp for 2 days and did pretty much nothing. I did nothing. I watched some movies. I sat in the car. One of those days it was raining, just to be fair. But
and we've been here in the Salt Flats for over a week now also. So we're starting to settle into like a new routine of like finding a place and really enjoying it. To be fair, the only reason we've actually stayed here so long is to catch up on stuff, but it's still been nice. Yeah. Hudson and I have like developed a routine. We get up in the morning, eat breakfast, go on a walk.
Yeah, he's clearly in his routine. He's sleeping.
Yeah, then I edit for a while. I usually take him on a midday walk again to get out some energy, and then an evening walk. And by 6 o'clock, because of daylight savings time, he's now ready for bed. It used to be 7, but now it's 6, and he has not got off that habit.
Yeah.
Something else that I've like really enjoyed that I knew I would enjoy it, but like being here in the Salt Flats, it's really set in, is getting to spend all day with Hudson. Like, he is such a happy guy in the morning.
Don't let her fool you. She gets so annoyed and fed up with him.
No. I'm not saying that I don't get annoyed with him, but it's been nice being with him all of the time. Like, he's such a happy dog in the morning. He makes me get up and do things. Like, I would not be walking 3 times a day if I didn't have him, probably. At least not here. Like, I like going on hikes and doing stuff, but we're not really hiking here. We're just walking. But it said in the other morning, like, I think the second day we were here, I just had his Kong out and I was playing fetch with him, and I was like, like, it's so strange that this is my life, that, like, I just get to do this. We're not on a set schedule. Like, we're making it up as we go, getting to decide what we want to do, and, like, that's been super nice, getting to decide what we do each day. I've really enjoyed that.
Yeah, it's like, that's the other thing. It's like, we planned on having like 6 months, and it's like, we're already over a month in, and I'm like, there's still so much I want to do just in this state alone, where I'm like,
and in some ways it feels like this month has gone by so fast, but also that what we did in the beginning was so long ago. Like, it doesn't even feel like the same trip. Yeah, it doesn't even feel like the same trip.
Yeah, well, also we were in winter clothes and snow and just freezing, and like now, like, I mean, it's been a little chilly here, but today it was hot, like it was in Moab, where, like, we're in the desert. Like, if the sun's out, the sun is brutal out here. Like, if it's 60, like, you're sweating.
Yeah, if it's not cloudy, you're sweating.
Yeah.
Let's see, what else? What did you bring that you didn't think you'd need, but have used often?
My hatchet.
I brought a saw too, which we've cut a lot more firewood than I thought we would, but let me tell you, sawing by hand is a freaking workout. When we were in the colder places, it warmed us right up.
Yeah, we'd be freezing, but like, all right, let's get like a fire going. So we saw some wood, and then like soon enough, you're shedding layers and you're sweating. And you're like, you don't even need the fire.
So I think we've definitely used those tools more than we thought we would.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if I was going to use the hatchet, but like where we've had to buy firewood here, where you can't really gather little kindling, like, it's nice to break apart one of the pieces of wood just with the hatchet, which, I mean, I like doing it. Jess doesn't love me doing it.
Well, because he slams it on rocks. I don't like the noise, but whatever. Something that, like, I think is essential to have while car camping and doing this, the propane stove that I have. Like, absolutely, you need that. You cannot be eating out all the time, and we've cooked a lot of meals on that stove already in the month that we've been here.
Yeah.
Okay, that just reminded me. The thing that I think has been the most annoying on this trip is that we have things stored between our 2 cars, like, mostly for cooking. Like, I have the stove, he has the pans. I have the propane, but, like, if we're not both together, we cannot make a meal.
Yeah.
He has the food.
I have the food, she has the utensils and all the cooking, what you need to cook.
Yeah.
So I have the fridge because I have to have the fridge because I have the solar panel which powers it.
Oh yeah, you were going to say the solar panel has exceeded your expectations.
Yeah, like...
So he's got a solar panel mounted on his roof, 200-watt panel, that is hooked up to the Blue Eddy battery, and that powers the fridge. And since we've been in, like, sunny areas, no problem. It stays powered all day.
Yeah, like when we were up more north in the mountains, like with clouds and stuff, like thankfully it was cold there because I was not getting enough solar to power it fully. If I had to power it, like if it was in the warm, but thankfully it was so cold, like it was already freezing out. Like the fridge barely had to run because I was barely getting anything in.
Something I didn't expect. Traveling this time of year, you really only have 12 hours of sunlight a day, which has made our schedule be like, it used to be like 7 to 7, now it's like 6 to 6. John still sleeps in longer than that. And I
stay up late.
Yeah, he stays up later, but you have like 12 hours of light a day. And I guess I like really didn't think that through. And it's still getting shorter. Like, it's not December yet, so it's not the shortest time of the year. We're getting less and less light each day. Which is interesting. It makes it interesting. We're finally in the desert where, like, there's not bears around, so we're not, like...
It's not as sketchy to stay out after dark.
Yeah, it's not as sketchy to stay out after dark or have, like, food around you. Because, like, clearly we're carrying food with us.
Yeah. Like, when we're up north, especially in bear country, like, I generally have to get out and pee in the night because I end up chugging a bottle before I go to bed. And, like, the couple times I had to get out, like in those areas where, like, we saw 3 grizzly bears and I had to get out and go to the bathroom.
We didn't see them at camp, but it was close enough.
Yeah.
Um,
Like, they could have easily walked there.
but that has been interesting, like being in the car for basically 12 hours at a time. Not so much anymore. Like I get up before it's light out usually because, like I said, Hudson's on a routine and he's like ready to be out of the car. But it's been strange. It's nice to lay down, but you're like, what am I doing?
Yeah.
Like I'm in here for 12 hours and like my car's not big. I've got a small SUV that I'm sleeping in or laying down in for 12 hours. But it is like a nice decompression time. I've listened to a lot of audiobooks, which has been really nice. The first like 2 weeks of the trip before Dad and Jackie came out, I don't think I watched a single movie, like at all.
Yeah, I don't think I watched anything
because
until we
I
went to
didn't.
Moab.
I didn't have any connection. I had nothing downloaded on my phone, so I just listened to books. And not having internet connection, like, I mean, we've been journaling. I don't know if John's up on his journal, but I have stayed up on my journal. I'm a day behind right now, but that's not too bad.
I might be a week behind.
You need to catch up, boy.
We do the same thing every day here. I do the same thing every day. I get up, I eat my Cliff Bar, take my vitamins, and then I poop sometime after that.
Yeah, pooping outside. I've gotten very used to that.
Yeah, it feels completely natural now.
Yeah.
And like here, we're in the desert, wide open. Like if someone's
a challenge I didn't know I would have, keeping Hudson away from said poop. What? You see something? I don't see anything.
Did you hear it?
What?
Could just be the neighbors walking. We're probably fine.
Anyways, you hear noises, it's dark, you look.
I mean, I'm not too sketched out. We've been here a week and a half.
I see nothing. I did see my first wildlife today. I was going to say a bear. I did not see a bear.
A bunny.
I saw a rabbit walking Hudson this morning. And it was not like a normal looking rabbit from New York. It looked like a jackrabbit, you know? Like a desert rabbit. I don't know. Had like pointier ears. It was kind of neat. Hudson didn't see it, thankfully, because I've been walking him off leash, so he didn't chase it. I don't know what else to say. That's like our 1 month update. We've run into things, but we're just living every day. Showering.
Yeah.
Showering is its own unique thing while living on the road. I feel like in the beginning when we were near cities, it was fine. We would find Planet Fitnesses without a problem. Moab.
Yeah, except for the neighbors. I saw their flashlight.
Moab in here. There's no Planet Fitness around. And we've gone days without showering at a time.
There's only like 3 Planet Fitnesses in Utah, and they're all around Salt Lake City.
We have utilized the portable shower. Not while we've been here. No. Okay. So we showered at a Planet Fitness right before we got to the Salt Flats, and then we stayed at a hotel one night while we were here.
Yeah, and thankfully, like, it's been pretty chilly here. Like, we're not sweating. Like, most of the time we've been here, even when we're walking, like, you're generally wearing at least a long sleeve or something more.
Oh, but...
Except today.
So, yeah, so showering on the road, that's a challenge, and also finding free water. I would say during, like...
Free good tasting water.
Yeah, but, like, in general, finding water at all. In Moab, they had, like, a shop that had free filtered water, so that was awesome. We've used some parks. We got it from the Arches National Park. That water did not taste good.
No.
But just finding water that's still turned on because it is almost winter. Luckily, we're like moving more south, so stuff isn't freezing, so they should leave their water on longer. But that's been interesting. Hunting down free water.
Yeah. Do you regret coming on the trip?
No, I don't regret coming on the trip at all. I have not enjoyed every day as much as, like, equally. I have not enjoyed all days equally. Some days I'm like, this sucks. like when we were driving through Wyoming that whole day, I was like, I don't know what we're gonna do. Like, I don't know where we're gonna stay. Finding a place to sleep every night, that's also like interesting, because we don't have this planned out. Like, we're figuring it out on the road,
And we don't want to pay.
and we don't want to pay. The other day, I was just like, we had to do laundry, and I wanted a good shower, and we just decided to splurge and go to a hotel. But that's the first hotel that we've paid for in the month of being out here.
Yeah,
We
we stayed at 3 with our dad, but
Yeah.
that was because they wanted to.
And I honestly probably will stay in like maybe one hotel a month or so. At least that's what I'm feeling right now.
Yeah, you just need
Every once in a while, you're like, I just need this.
living in such a small space, especially like if we've been traveling for a month and like, hey, it's gonna rain this day. Like, the one day in Moab when it rained, we set up the tent, but like it was so loud and windy, like it wasn't fun in there. Like,
I still spent most of the morning in there.
but we ended up hanging out in the truck after, which like it's fine. Like we watched Squid Games, and like that was fine to do. But like if you're gonna have like 3 or 4 days of rain, like we're just gonna move on. Or
Yeah, we're not going to deal with the weather that's bad weather for more than one day.
yeah.
One day, okay, like we can be stuck in the car. Having Hudson though, we can't be stuck in the car that long. We just can't.
Yeah. If Hudson wasn't there, it's like, hey, like we could go hang out at, like a library. We could go hang out somewhere inside somewhere.
Yeah,
But he's not allowed like anywhere.
He can't go in stores. Yeah, it has been a challenge having him. I don't regret bringing him though. Like, he's just got such a good attitude all the time, and he's so happy, and he makes me happy. Annoyed too, but mostly happy. I had some other thought before we got on that tangent.
I don't know. Good things, bad things. What do you wish you brung that you didn't?
I don't know that I like wish I brought anything. Oh, a frisbee, or like I meant to pack my softball glove and bring him a glove. I had brought a ball. I forgot that. And that would be nice. Like, just something to do, break up the day sometimes. Playing catch would be fun.
Yeah, it would. Well, I still might buy a football or a frisbee or something else.
Keeping dirt out of the car is impossible. Doing laundry is hard.
Laundry's way more expensive than I thought. Like, I haven't had to use like laundromats like ever really, but like in Moab it was like freaking almost $5 to wash it, and then 25 cents every 4 minutes to dry. Which at a certain point I was like, screw this. I'm like, I'm just gonna take everything back, and I set up my awning and hung everything out to dry because we could. But I'm just like, laundry was a bigger expense than I was expecting.
Gas has been expensive on this trip because it's almost $4 a gallon all across the country.
Yeah, and I'm driving a big V8 that gets me like, I get 15 to 16 miles a gallon.
So like that's also why we're focusing on staying places longer now.
Yeah, you can extend the trip so long, because like if we're sitting here, like we're staying here for free, like what's our cost? Our cost is food. That's basically it. Plus our normal monthly costs, like our phone and insurance and like things things we've already budgeted for and paid for, like it would be monthly. But like our basic cost is just food.
Food has been more expensive than I thought it would be, and I think it's because we're in these like remote areas.
Yeah,
and so just the price of stuff is just more expensive. Like this firewood costs $8 a bundle, which is insane.
Had I known that before I inserted my card, I would not have bought it. But lesson learned.
Like in Moab, and we're in Bonneville or near the Bonneville Salt Flats right now. These are expensive areas because they're by nothing.
Yeah. Like, there's no Walmarts here. There's no Aldi's. Like, there's no cheap chains. Like, there's Smith's.
I went to buy groceries the other day. I spent $120. And Johnny's like, what did you even buy? I came back with not a lot of food, but I had bought things like Benadryl, soap, paper towels, garbage bags, and, like, all of that just added up really fast. That food is gone, I think.
Yeah, the other thing, managing what we have in the fridge is also, it's a bit hard to do, like, because we're never consistently planning, oh, we're gonna eat this today and this then. Like, we've thrown out more food than I would have liked. We haven't thrown out that much, but we've definitely had to throw out some food. Or like there's certain things like we needed lettuce for something, and it was a quarter of the price to buy this big pack of 3 iceberg lettuce heads.
Romaine.
Alright, romaine, whatever. It was cheaper to buy these 3 romaine lettuces. It was like $1 to buy them, or to buy the bag of shredded lettuce was like $3.25, and I was like, I will just pay the $1 to
and
buy
waste
this.
lettuce.
Yeah.
All right, so let's wrap this up. Do we regret coming on this trip? I don't regret coming on this trip. I think that I've experienced a lot already. We've got to see a lot of cool places. I have not enjoyed every moment of the trip. Like, I'm not going to lie, it's not all fun. But I think overall, there's more good days and good things than bad. And I have not, like, missed being home. I've enjoyed being on the road. We've only been gone a month, so it has not been that long. We'll see how I feel next month. I think initially I was a little bit, like, homesick, but I haven't been lately. I've just been enjoying the moment and the days.
Yeah. Leaving was hard. Saying goodbye to our mom, that was hard. And it felt like vacation, and then Dad and Jackie came, and it felt more like vacation. And when they left, like that, like
it was sad the next day when they were gone. Like, it was like another goodbye and another new chapter on this trip.
Well, it's like, all right, it's like I know, like, because initially it was like, hey, like we're gonna see Jackie and Dad in a week, like when we first started, and then they left, and it's like, hey, we're not gonna see anyone until we go home,
and we don't have like a date, set date,
which is gonna be months, and it's like
what we've been talking about is John thinks he'll probably go home for a little bit, either in January, February, like who knows, sometime around then.
And I may not, like,
and he may not. I don't think that I'm gonna go home then. I think that I'm just gonna ride out these 6 months, going wherever I feel like it. And right now we're in Utah. Who knows how much longer we're gonna be in Utah? I'd say probably a couple more weeks, like with the amount of stuff that we're doing.
Yeah, I said we got at least 2, 3, 4, maybe 4 weeks.
And then we're gonna go down to Arizona, and like we don't have a set plan. We're just figuring it out and like looking cool stuff up as we go along.
Yeah, we're seeing, all right, like these
What
are all the places
to?
we want to go. What's the best route to go see these? And then like we hear about things or see other cool places. We're like, hey, is this on the way? How can we fit this in? Like, we don't mind driving a little bit out of the way. Like, I mean, nothing's really out of the way. We have no plan. All right, I think we should wrap it up. The camera may have already stopped.
Okay, all right, that's it. That's our 1 month update. We are enjoying it so far.